All right. We are live. 7 seconds in. Let's see how long it takes before anyone comes in this show. Hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. What's up, Double E? How are you? Can you hear me? RH? Can you guys hear me good? I didn't do a double take on seeing. I just wanted to check here. Can you all hear me? All right, good. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you, guys. What's up, Monty? How are you, brother? Got your email this week? Read that? Everybody weekend going well? Man, YouTube's numbers are off. Really weird. At first it said there was one person. I had 3 people. Now it's 5. 5 and 1 like. Come on, guys, hit the like button. So, everyone having a good weekend? Enjoying themselves? Yes, no? Hey, Damien, how are you? Joe, how are you doing? Hey, no worries. Take your time. That's fine. Nina, I got that email you sent me. That's very interesting. I appreciate that. Good stuff. Good. Yeah, bad shape. Man, Monty, I'm sorry about your friend, brother. Yeah, it's rainy up here in upstate New York as well. Hey, Stephanie, how are you? I don't know if all of everyone from last week was here. We got about 17 people. What's up, California? How's it going? I said to a few people about homework. A few people hadn't seen Hostage of the Devil, nor had they seen Chud. And one girl, I forget who it was. I'll remember when she comes on. Geez, some crow. Larry, thank you, brother. Thank you so much. From the CV team. And what's the CV? Joe, did you do your homework? Because I did mine. I ended up watching the Fourth Kind. Holy wow. That was awesome. Larry, what is the CV team, if you don't mind me asking, brother? Larry's been with the channel for a long time, and I actually remember talking to him about his encounter, and it was cardiovascular surgery team. Oh, wow, that's awesome. My dad actually, California, the Border Patrol story or encounter was awesome. Larry, my dad, last year, you guys who have been with the channel for a while, my dad is, it's like 73, decent mentality, body's just had a kidney transplant, double kidney transplant, and had some vascular issues. They had to put a stent in. When they were putting the stents in, he had a heart attack on the table. Now his left leg is giving him trouble. So he's seeing a cardiovascular surgeon. He might be getting a stent in the left one. Hey, Thunderbolt, how are you? Micro Dork, I will gladly take that. I will email you back. Wow. It's pretty sad when creators have subscribers that send them gifts and they don't even acknowledge that. That is just disgusting, if you ask me. It's truly disgusting. Do you know any EBE that talks in their own language at the same time, echo overlay? RH, no, I've really not checked into that very often. Steph's a good guy. I like Steph a lot. Definitely a wealth of knowledge, and it's like he swallowed a dictionary and the thesaurus, right? Microdork, email me and I'll put my address. I'll give you my address. All right. I'll put my email address in here right now for you, my friend. And wow, that's just crazy. I can't believe that. There's my email address. Giant spiders in Vietnam. I will actually talk to my dad about that and see what he remembers. Jesus, Joe, that's incredible. I will, RH. I will talk to a few people about that. Actually, I'll look into it. I got a lot of paperwork and stuff about that I just haven't had a chance to read through. Joe, God bless you. I'm so glad you're still here with us. There's got to be some sort of giant spiders in Vietnam. I mean, even if it's like, larger. Susan, you're not that late. You're only 6 minutes and 52 seconds late to the show. That's not me farting. That's my chair, by the way, squeaking in the background. I didn't want anybody to think I was beefing ass online. Pete Puma, I'm doing well. Thank you. I appreciate that. Old Marine sniper told me about a giant spider. Jesus, that's a big spider. I mean, I know you love spiders, and I was going through encounters that I had stashed Thunderbolt to see, because I have like 2 or 3 and I cannot find them. And I was thinking of you specifically. So I it's crazy that like how much I think about y'all. Yeah, that Border Patrol guy, it was crazy. I'll just get into a little more detail on that. So I called him Eric. That's what we'll call him. He called me out of the blue, and I'm like, hey, Jane, how are you? And I'm like, who the heck is that? And when I answered the phone, he said, is this Jeff Nadolny? And he sounded like really formal. And I'm like, yeah, it is. And he said, you have a YouTube channel and you discussed this, and that. And I'm like, absolutely, I did. And he started to talk a little bit more about the case, and I stopped him and I was like, listen, I'm like, I'm not saying I don't believe you, but can you tell me his name, please? Just because I don't know you. Told me his name, and because other than him, the other 2 agents had been in the newspaper. So, and then he proceeded to share a little bit about the wildlife refuge, where he truly believes that there is some sort of underground facility where they could be housing them. And that, thanks, Steph Double D. I'm glad that I can't. No, I'm just kidding. Happy birthday to your dad. And so he then, I really think, because I looked at it on satellite and thought that it is a pretty good location for a underground base to be, because of the isolation and the what's up, Lucifer Jesus? The isolation of the park. It's not even a park; it's a wildlife refuge, and the how big it is. So Puerto Rican giant spiders, they're huge. Doing good, Jane. Doing really well. I've seen like a Puerto Rican, like a spider from Puerto Rico. Ironically enough, I think it came over with fruit or something. What's up, Troy? Good seeing you here. Caden, what's going on? How are you? That's a good theory. Aliens holding Mothman in underground base. Yeah, they definitely do. Pretty big. I've seen one spider that was with a patch of bananas that it was about the body was it was shaped odd and it was like that and probably half the size of the banana. So anyway, that movie, I've never seen it. I did my homework this week and I was told to watch The Fourth Kind, Erie, Pennsylvania. What's up, Suji? And wow, you know, the female doctor, I started to think about this, and I had talked about it a while ago. Gina, how are you? And like, okay, so these hauntings that people have hauntings and this and that, and I started to really think about what if the um, what if there's a connection to alien life, and then I then started to think about mental illness. What if the connection to alien life, hauntings, and mental illness? And that poor woman, what she went through. I mean, the one thing that I wish they did more with the movie was Susan, it was amazing. I really wish they had shown because they had the home video and stuff of her and this and that, but I wish they had shown her what she looked like and how she spoke prior to the incident, because she was just in a wheelchair. Her speech was just destroyed. It was a very tragic case. um Definitely did not like that at all. Time slips are definitely cool stories. um but yeah, I'm glad that I watched that movie. And then right after I watched that movie, I was fiending for something to believe or something to watch. And I ended up watching Hostage of the Devil. I said believe because RH, Joe, I believe you. My granddad was in Desert Rat in North Africa. I was just asking. I agree, Caden. I agree totally. I think that there's a lot of connections that we just don't, um, that people don't put together, or Chud Rising, that they don't put together or they're afraid to even bring up. Like, I have a topic. What's up, No Cap? You actually, I wanted to send you a message. Very good. Yeah, I agree. I read in one of your comments about your experience, and I was wondering if you'd be willing to send that to me. No, Jane, Fourth Kind is not new. I think about 2016 or something like that. It's on YouTube and Amazon, $3.99 to watch it. So good. That the lady that was in the movie was from North Carolina. I read somewhere, no cap, that you said something about an encounter and it struck me. It was something you said, I think about a Bigfoot or something. Donnie Darko is an amazing movie. Donnie Darko is strictly a great movie. What's going on, Scott? How are you? I gotta look something up really quick. Why is it my phone? There we go. Fourth Kind. No, it's 2009. Oh, that sucks. It is. Man. I wonder why they didn't have her. I wonder why they didn't have her the doctor in the movie. I mean, I realized like she was bedridden actually. But wow, she really played that character great. That was just such a good movie. Hey Shannon, how are you? Thanks, California. I got a blue one. I got a blue and white one coming. I thought of you guys when I got it. I ordered it. You know, I've heard people having nightmares about werewolves and stuff like that. RH, no, I have not. I have not. Did you watch The Cannibal in the Jungle yet? It is real lost film footage on a little Bigfoot called Ego. Is that what the movie's called? Is Cannibal in the Jungle? Cannibal in the Jungle.
Here is some information about
okay. I am going to find that. That'll be my homework for this week. Pete Puma, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I will definitely check that out. Yeah, I caught that little snippet actually, now that you mention it. It's just a tragic. You know what really pissed me off about that movie was the sheriff. Like you have a police officer outside of the home that's saying, "Hey, something crazy just happened." And he's not even believing that officer. And then her friend kind of backstabbed her too, and it was just like, this isn't cool. This is not cool at all. I have a tree down in my yard. That's not cool. Jeff, do you have PTSD from your Dogman sighting? No, I don't. I don't have PTSD. Yeah, definitely no cap. But it wasn't Department of Homeland Security. He was Border Patrol. He was telling us that that Department of Homeland Security is running the show, which really made a lot of sense because of that interview I did with the person that went to school with Corey Godsey's mom, who was a 13-year-old little boy in Knott County, Kentucky. Jeff, could they lose control of Dogman? I don't think they control all of them. I think there's a number of them that they do. And yeah, you probably lose control of everything. Lake Superior girl, how are you tonight? What's up, Brian? Leo's up in the house. They need to make a movie about the Dogman of LBL. I think there's too much crap about LBL out there anyway. You know, it's LBL is not some sacred holy grail land. It's a place where a couple of encounters happen. Taylor, Mississippi. Taylor, Mississippi has had more encounters than LBL, and people focus on the LBL like it's going out of style. Why is Dogman hard to kill? IE Native, you are not late to the party, my friend. 20 minutes is not late. That's right. Dark Waters did have his. Right. Yeah, no cap. But I'm saying he's strictly like, if the way he was talking about DHS was that, you know, he's a border patrol agent. He's strictly, you know, doing his job. He doesn't have anything, you know, a lot tied up into it. He's just doing a job. Rockin' steady. What's going on? How are you? Roxy W's in the house. MJ, how are you? He really, like, if you could hear the way he was talking, he's really anti what is going on. You know, he knew the two guys that were killed. He's friends with the guy who's in hiding. It really bothers him, and he's just chapped. What's going on, Name Redacted? How are you? Antifreeze sausages. Rockabilly 333. How are you doing? 3. One more 3. Julie, how are you tonight? I don't know. Maybe we should put a bunch of Hershey's bars in LBL and see if we end up with some Dogman death. Just kidding. Thanks, Andrew and Lydia. I appreciate that. And Callie. Giant Slayer. You know, that's a good question, Stephanie. And I think that I'm not wasting chocolate. I think, to be honest with you, there needs to be more people that are in that field willing to work with people who have had experiences and take it seriously, regardless of what they think and their views are. No, I have not made the announcement yet. I'll make it, a little bit of it tonight. I'll make it in a few more minutes. Chairman Mao, how are you? Welcome to the channel. Love the name. So anyway, good evening, Liz. So anyway, the important announcement is that I decided that I'm going to sink some money into the channel. I have, and I'm going to be working with somebody this next week to show me more of the ins and outs. And I bought some new editing software and a couple of new things, and I want to start giving you TV quality videos that have really just everything that you guys deserve. I want to upgrade the channel. I've got everything set, and the person that I'm going to be working with is going to be sitting down with me here and just leveling up. So when you guys do have watch the videos, it'll be like watching something on TV. And that's just, to me, it's a big step. It's going to take a lot more work, but it's going to be worth it for me and you, because I just think it's worth it. So what's going on, Jim? How are you? Thanks, No Cap. I appreciate that. No, really quick, I rockin' steady. No new news out of Michigan. The second I get anything, from Michigan, I'll immediately put it out for you. Micro Dork. Okay, here it's period Jeff at mail.com. All right, there, Micro Dork. I just put it out again. Let me know if that happens. Could Michigan be fake? No. I mean, yeah, it could be, but is it? No, I don't think so. I think that I first of all, they don't care about cryptids. Anything could be fake, but they don't care. Their TikTok is based on fishing and based on hunting and raising their own food, yada yada. This crap just started happening, and they started to really recording it and looking into it. Dogman is real and Woods Night. Dogman 10 o'clock in the night. Okay. Thanks, Stephanie. IE native. Yeah, I barely sleep. I think I get 4 hours of sleep a night. I'm literally constantly just reading stuff and looking into paperwork and just really trying to make this channel more different and better than other channels out there, I guess. I don't want to compete with anybody, but I want to have a whole different kind of vibe to the experience, This die. Yeah. What's the book on the Jersey Devil? Legendary Pine Barrens. It's by Paul Pedersen Jr. I live close to the encounter site. I heard something run across my roof. That's crazy. BGFF. Dan, I do keep it real every day. That's a statement really not even needed. I don't think that I've had an experience, so I'm not gonna not keep it real. I know these things exist. So, hey, Melissa, how are you? Very good. Thank you for asking. I dreamt about the road above our cabin. How do I send you a picture? Email me. Email me. It's Lakota. I'll put my email in the comments. I don't use. I actually here really quick. I'll make another statement really quick. I don't use Facebook Messenger. I had someone. I had someone reach out to me via email saying they had sent me something on Facebook Messenger, and they literally reamed my asshole with a pole on that. And I was like, listen, I don't use Messenger. I strictly use the email. I started Messenger and Facebook for the channel a long time ago when I was going in one way. So if you guys need to get in touch with me, please email me. And that's the best way to get in touch with me. No, I have not heard from Victor in a while. Would you interview a Dogman? I don't think that's possible. I'd more than be happy to video record one when it was in a cage. 2 ghost kids. That's creepy. Gina, every state except Hawaii, I have gotten an encounter. I believe that they are in every country besides Antarctica and whatever that really doesn't make sense for them to be. They are, they are here. 6 steps, very heavy, scared me too much. That would definitely scare me terribly. Wow, 32 feet. So that they were doing 6 feet strides, BGFF. Dressed in period clothing. Jane, I separated myself from him completely. I just don't believe what he is saying. And that's really a hard statement for me to make. And you know me, Jane, very well. We've talked lots. And for me to make that statement, no, nothing about Michigan lately. Nothing. I've got an encounter that I interviewed the guy, and sometimes it sucks when I speak to someone on the phone and they're, they send this message, hey, I want to do an interview. And Jane has a wrench and I have no idea why. We talked about that last week. I don't know. Jane's been with the channel since day one though. But she's not a moderator. She's just a part of the channel, just like you guys. Anyway, so this guy reached out to me from Ohio, and it's a very strange encounter. And you guys are going to be shocked because I had never heard what he shared with me. He wouldn't let me record it. I had to literally write it down, and now I've got to put it together because I chicken scratched it. But it is truly a terrifying. Leo Barkley, why? Why should I have him on? He copies my channel. He's copied my channel since he started day one. He's the reason why I had someone from Knott County come on, because he was lying about it. Anyway, this guy was sharing. I've never heard this experience, and I'm not going to get too deep into it because I don't want to give it all away, but it's going to be a strange Dogman experience. Fox like Dogman. There have been fox like Dogman seen in Virginia, actually. Yes, I do, Melissa. I do. Just got done with the Border Patrol. Yeah, it's a crazy Border Patrol agent. Yeah. In Thunderbolt, I actually had a fox like Dogman on this channel as well. 2 people from Virginia had seen it. No cap. It's just a Dogman. It's a fancy name for a Dogman. It's like when people call Bigfoot Sabe or whatever, they feel like it gives them some sort of boost of confidence. Which it's a Native American name. Like Gugwi is a Micmac term for Bigfoot with a muzzle. Barilla, I would love to hear some more experiences about Barilla. And yeah, to me that is like the, Micmac type experiences. The word Gugwi it's used in different contexts. Some is a huge giant, and others have a muzzle, but it's very short, like a bear. Amber, I don't know what that means. A short bear? Yes, probably. I think I was reading somewhere, and they were calling the short bear almost like a cryptid back in the day. RH, you've asked that numerous times, and I don't know what that is. I haven't researched it, so I'm not going to talk about something I don't know about right now. Amber, it's kind of hard to look at all the comments when I'm working 12 hours a day on videos. I can't spend all the time. If someone wants to send me encounters, email me. That's the best thing I can do. I don't have 36 hours. I work more in one day than most people work in 2. BGFF. I've always wondered that. Transform these things. I think no cap. I think what people see. I think there are shape shifting creatures that are like dogmen, but I think that dogmen. I think there's a version of a shape shifting dogman, like the Rougarou. If you really research the Rougarou, it is a shapeshifter. It's not permanently a dogman. It's a mist. So yeah, I really think that it could be do I ever go back? Microdork, I've been back there. I actually went there with a camera last summer and walked through the woods behind where my encounter happened. I did do a couple of Philippine Dogman encounters about 2 or 3 years ago. I'll go through some stories or some files and redo them and see what I can put out there. Do you think Luke from Taylor, Mississippi has the scariest Dogman encounters? I don't know. I honestly, I can't. How do we can't, I can't, in my eyes, I can't say someone else's encounter is scarier than the next. I think all encounters are terrifying, and I think they're all important because we're told at such an early age that monsters don't exist. But yet we have that ingrained fear since we're a child in us. How else thanks, Becca. How else would we know that there are monsters, you know? Think about like a 3 or 4 year old child. They've never watched a horror movie, and yet they can identify strange monsters like a Dogman or a Bigfoot. And I think it's just ingrained in our DNA from long ago. Exactly, Stephanie. I agree. Like, is Charlie going tonight? Charlie. Good night, Charlie. Have a good night. My encounter, I live in upstate New York, Microdork 80, and that's where it happened. I live in the Adirondacks. But do you think cryptids show themselves in the end of times? Louis Franco. I don't see. That's one thing. That's a good question. And this is just my take on it. I'm not an expert. I'm just sharing my take, and you guys share your take. But people like to say that we're having so many encounters nowadays because it's the end of time. Well, how long is the end of time? Because I have a whole file that is literally this big, probably 600 pages of encounters dating back from the 1700s, that have been documented. So I think that sometimes they use these creatures and these sightings to scare us. The religious community does. I'm not saying we're not at the end of time, but that's my own view on that. I will check that book out. Definitely will. Exactly, Joe. Exactly. That's exactly what I was saying about, when um, the ingrained fears. That book that was written by Jesus. The Human Predation book about the Neanderthal. Randy, have a good evening. Thank you for coming for a little while. I appreciate it. It was good having you here. It really could be Operation Blue Book. You're absolutely right, RH. I don't watch hockey, Kathy, so I cannot tell you. Can you kill them? Absolutely. Pete, I wasn't downing the religious people's camp. I'm not downing that. I'm just stating that there have been multiple encounters for hundreds and hundreds of years. So I just think that, with the rise of the internet, not many people, we forget how early the internet is, and how limited, some people are to internet access still to this day. And, I remember when Abigail, my oldest daughter, was born, I had a flip phone, and it was like 2 years later that I got a BlackBerry, like the whole new kind of technology that we have. We've only had it for such a limited time, but we take it for granted. They could be using these. They could be, definitely, Amber. I agree. But I think they know where the majority of them are. I had an interesting, this is for Paul, Carey, Robinson, Carlisle. I had an interesting kind of thought this morning while I was taking a shower. And this is how crazy my brain works. I'm taking a shower, getting ready for the day, and I'm thinking about Dogman and thinking about information and shit like that. And I was like, I need to reach out to a Orthodox minister and sit down with him and say, hey, listen, what's the deal? Why does this saint have a dog's head? And maybe they can give us the answer. Micro Dork, were you able to send me that email? Do you think some kind of force, higher power, these creatures from having their way with us more often? Absolutely, the government. What about the Egyptian hieroglyphs? Showed hundreds of pictures of dogs. Absolutely, Leo. Absolutely. I agree with you 100%. That's just proof of what I was saying. That's even thousands of years back. So I think that the sightings of these now is, like, okay, Amber just said Revelation speaks of beasts in the field being released. Well, the Egyptian hieroglyphs had dogmen and other creatures, and there's constant documented cases. So I don't think that we are at that level yet. I mean, it's my belief. Everyone is entitled to their own belief, right? I agree with you, Little Orphan Annie. It gives us all something to talk about, right? Highest concentration of dogmen in Michigan. Vernon Beer. No. No, I think Michigan has some. I think Michigan, we think of Michigan because the Dogman song came out of there and Bray Road. But like that'd be like saying LBL has the largest population of Dogman. I'd have to say somewhere around Pennsylvania, Ohio, West Virginia, and Virginia. That region of the Appalachia does. I agree with you, Paul. I actually called I forgot why I did it, but I called a Catholic priest one night, and I said I had like this weird question. I forget what the hell it was about, but I completely stumped the guy. You could hear like his voice and he wanted to share. He just wanted to talk, and he literally was stumped, and it was pretty funny. The Michael Rickard story or case? Absolutely no cap. I agree 100%. When that state trooper reached out to me and shared that with me, he shared his encounter 2 months before that case even happened. And then, like 6 months later, he's sharing that with me. And I'm like, holy crap. And I literally went to the internet and I was like, oh my God, this is matching up perfectly. How can you, or here, like in Colorado, with Meeker, Colorado, with the cattle mutilation, the guy reaches out to me, tells me what's going on in his location, and Jane, I will TB. Yes, Jane, me and you are going to talk very soon. But he tells me there's dogmen killing these cattle. They're not wolves. There's a kill team in Meeker. And then all of a sudden the newspaper goes quiet, or my brain just goes dumb sometimes. I got so much fucking information just going 1,000 miles a minute. Tony Aaron's Amber Miller, perfect example too. What killed those two? Why are those cases just stopped talking? Why have we stopped talking about those cases? Why has the news media, like, these people don't freaking matter? It's just disgusting. Thunderbolt, if a dogman is natural creature, why cover it up? Well, I mean, it's an apex predator that shouldn't exist in our time, that we can't control. I doubt that. I doubt highly that the government created them. I think they use them. I think they've genetically used markers and shit like that to create different things with their DNA. But there's Native American accounts of supposed walking hand in hand on the land bridge, Absolutely, Lydia. Will the government ever come out about the existence of cryptids? I don't think so, James Kaufman. I don't think so. People say that that the government has come clean about alien existence, and they have not come clean about alien existence. They've come clean about UAPs and UFOs, but they've never said aliens exist. They've said UFOs exist and UAPs exist. What's up, Blake Baker? Orlando. Exactly. They will always lie. They like to lie, and they enjoy. They like to lie. I got to check something. I want to check and see if Microdork's email came. Yes, I did get it, Microdork. Actually, I'll send you my address right now. Do not stalk me, please, and do bad things to my bot. I'm just kidding. I just emailed you my address, Microdork, and I really appreciate it. I cannot believe that you forged a knife for a creator and they did not email you back. And that is just terrible. Hey, Brown Snake, I didn't see you here. How are you? Smithsonian has lots of stuff in their basement. You know, I'd love to spend a night or two in the Smithsonian basement, but I'd like to spend a week in the Vatican, in the Vatican's basement. Libra Poet, how are you? That's interesting, Lewis, because I had him on my channel and he never mentioned that on the encounter that he shared here. And I've heard that his experience fluctuates multiple times depending on which channel he chooses to share it on. I'll have to look that up, no cap. That sounds cool. Well, I'm glad you're here, Libra. I really am. Just curious, which vaping implement do you use? I use a Juul. I use a Juul. I smoked cigarettes for a very long time, since I was 13 years old, and it was um, the only device that would help me stop smoking cigarettes. I know people say they're just as dangerous, but I can't stand the smell of cigarettes, and I'd rather vape my Juul than anything. Have I dropped the F bomb yet? Fucking A right, I have, Gravity. Geek Vape. Jeff, I promise when I'm less busy, put together an email info and send it to you. No worries. Don't worry about it, Libra. You're good. Jeff, what you want, Jeff? Wait, do you? That's right. That's right. Absolutely. I am a free man. Considering my divorce was finalized like a month ago. Dogman, from my great grandmother, I am Sue. Exactly, Kathy. Exactly. You know, that would be name redacted. You know, I agree with you. There are some days that I really want to have a cigarette, but I really would love to just find like thank you, Pete. I appreciate that. I really do. And congratulations to you too. Um, you know, I celebrated 7 years on Monday. It was a great day. Um, I hung out with both of my daughters and just had I actually I had a great time, you know. Yeah. Congrats on the divorce. Yeah, that was we were separated for a long time though. And you know, it was just time. I didn't realize how expensive a fucking divorce was though. Holy shit. Especially when, you know, I wanted to wait until the kids were both girls were 18 and she just wanted it immediately because she just had another kid and she's like you can pay for it. I'm like whatever. How long were you married for? 15 years. They will come clean when they have no choice, Micro. You're absolutely right. 26 years here. 26 years sober, Henry White Jr. Congratulations. Holy shit. Congratulations. You get less for murder. They are worth every penny. I tell you that. BGF has got a Dogman issue going outside of his house in Ohio right now, it looks like. BGFF, if you ever email me, and I will gladly, I'd love to hear your experiences, maybe interview you. My ex took my girls, Jeff. Dude, that sucks. I'm sorry. I am so sorry. I don't know what I'd do without my daughters. My daughters are probably the most important thing in my life. They are the most important thing in my life. They're the reason I get up and breathe. The Gifting Rock, you mean, RH? It was a place where they initially thought that it was a Bigfoot, and they didn't know anything about cryptids, like I said, and they started putting stuff there. Jeff. Okay, so Jeff and anyone else in the live, have you seen a guy called Richie the Barber? The guy, clown face, interviewed. No, I have not, Libra. Was it interesting? Winged humanoids are definitely cool, Big John. I gotta agree with you. No, Victor is not dead. Victor is not dead. Absolutely right, Monty. But they didn't know when they were doing it, you know? They just they had no idea. If it's a Dogman, BGFF, yes. If it's a Squatch, no. Exactly, Sherry. I agree with you. Hey, Janice, how are you? No worries. No worries. How's your family doing? Well, I hope. You said that. Yeah, I want you to send me that story, Thunderbolt. I'd love to hear that story. Paul, well, I'm glad you're back. I really am glad you're back. Did I lose a lot in my divorce? No, I didn't lose anything. I gained freedom. Thunderbolt, how about this? Why don't you email me? Give me a couple weeks, but email me tomorrow or tonight. And I got to deal with Monty. I got to talk to Monty sometime soon. I've got him scheduled. And I want to get you and Monty and a couple of other people to do an interview with too, okay? I've not forgotten about you, Monty. Don't worry, my friend. I read every email you send me. Take care, Brown Snake. Be safe, all right? Thank you for coming. I've definitely heard of the Owlman. Thanks, Truth. I appreciate that. I definitely have heard of Owlman experiences, um, and a lot of other flying humanoid experiences. I like them a lot. I don't talk about them too much on the channel because it seems like when I do, only a few people watch them. I should just start throwing, a different cryptid in with a Dogman collab. You know what I mean? Not recently, Nina. Not recently. Crawlers are, I guess, I mean, I've never had an encounter with crawlers, but from what I've heard, they are dangerous. So, I most certainly don't want to see one, especially since the movie Chud scared the shit out of me when I was a kid. So, I would just be definitely careful. No cap. How did you, how did I get my girls? Um, I fought for custody for Belle, and I don't know. I'm a better parent than her, I guess. Um, that's all I can say. I don't know, but I have custody of both. Well, Abigail's 18, so I do, and I don't have custody of her, but I have custody of Belle. What happens when you get bit by a dog, man? It hurts. You probably get infected, and you possibly die. Give me 1 second, guys. Had to get a new vape. So, um, let's share. Let's talk about a couple of encounters. Do some encounters. All right, how's that sound? Hang on 1 second. Oh shit, cancel. I don't know why I did that. All right. You guys want some encounters? Mel's Hole. Yeah, I've heard of Mel's Hole. Absolutely. Why was the farmer? Eric, yes. Just send me an email, Eric. I will put my email address in here, Eric Baker. And yes, I'd love to. I understand. Let me put it in there so we can get in touch with each other. Hang on 1 second, and then we'll do some encounters real quick, and then we'll have a BS session about whatever. Okay. What time is it in America? In New York State, it's 1:05. Okay, so here we go. When I was younger, I used to go to a place called Desolation Wilderness near Camino, California. It was a perfect place for camping and fishing. Realizing that it had been a few years since my last trip, I talked a friend of mine to go camping and fishing with me. We managed to talk another friend into coming with us, and then we were off. It was around 1 p.m. We decided to hike upstream from a place called Wright's Lake, and then we found a good spot that we could set up camp. After walking for a couple of hours, a ranger found us hiking and told us that we were actually not technically in Desolation Wilderness yet, and that we needed to keep hiking a bit longer. I started tearing down the camp, but I guess the other two guys were not enthusiastic about the trip, as I was. They left for Placersville to find a hotel room. When they left, I hiked a bit further, but I started to worry about the amount of time I had to find a place and set camp up before dark. As I hiked, I tried to remember the ranger's instructions, but I ended up getting lost. Finally, I found a granite cliff with a stream that had a beautiful pool of water and was right on the tree line. I thought, this is a perfect place to set up camp and start fishing. When the sun had set and the sky was dark, I decided to go to sleep. Cozy in my sleeping bag, I started to drift off, but then I heard something growling outside of my tent. I grabbed the .45 compact handgun from its case and looked down through the screen on the front of the tent. From where I was standing, I could only see a dark figure that looked to be around 4.5 feet tall standing near the trees. Thinking that it was a bear, I started yelling, hoping that I'd scare it away. It didn't move. I then fired a shot at the tree. That startled it, and it ran back into the forest, but to my surprise, it did not go very far. I climbed back into the tent. Then I heard crashing sounds. It was the sound of rocks falling off the cliff and hitting the pool below and the rocks around it. This was unnerving. I climbed out of the tent a few times, but couldn't see anything, even though the moon was bright and the white granite rocks reflected its paleness. Crashing rocks hit every few minutes until around 2 in the morning. Then it stopped. But I heard something rustling just outside of the tent. I yelled at it, trying to scare it away. But instead of scaring it away, I just heard another very deep growl sound in return. At this point, I didn't want to wait until it got too close. So I got out of the tent and started to look around. Nothing. I decided to shoot at the tree again to see if the creature would react and run back into the forest, just like the first time. But it stopped again. As I listened to the sounds of its moving, I realized that now it was running on 2 feet, and this was no bear. I didn't want to go back into my tent. I grabbed my sleeping bag and moved over to the middle of the big slab of white granite nearby. I felt safer and knew the forest was further away from me, but I could still hear the noises. I prayed the sun would come up soon. At about 4:30 in the morning, I awoke from my light sleep. I looked back at the trees but didn't see anything, so I looked over at my tent. There it was, standing at the side of my tent. I panicked and picked up my gun and shot the side of the creature, but it didn't flinch. Then, with giant steps, it walked towards me. I shot at it. I wasn't sure if a .45 would even stop such a creature, but it was my only hope. After the second shot rang out, it was off into the trees, running on 4s. Shaking like a leaf, I sat down, clutching my gun. I waited for hours until the light started to appear in the sky. I broke camp down and headed back to Wright's Lake. That was the last time I saw that creature. That was the last time I ever went to Desolation Wilderness, and I will never go back. Good night, Giant Slayer. Not a bad experience. What's up, Kevin? What's up, Nino? How are you? Yeah, if you can get grenades. No, I have not read the Skinwalkers at the Pentagon. It's a book that I've been meaning to look into. Is it any good, Joe? I'll have to check it out. So it's definitely worth the buy. All right, good stuff. I'm doing well, Nino. How are you? Kevin, you're right on time, my friend. You're here, right? All right, this is a strange one. Hey, Pamela's here. How are you? It's on Audible too. No, I'd rather read my books. I can't. Yeah, not too far. North Face, what's going on? How are you? A rail gun. Dude, did you see Demolition Ranch shot one of those rail gun? It was like these little metal discs. It was pretty stupid. I almost said queer. I just said it. Damn it. I'm gonna cancel myself out. Okay. Thanks, Mickey. Behold the Pale Horse is probably one of my favorite books ever. Someone should make Dogman traps. Heavy duty Jeff. Those gifts you received today were awesome, especially the Dogman sign. Yeah, they were great. That's something that Micro Dork. I always, when anybody sends me a gift, like I am so appreciative because it blows my mind that you guys think of me like that, and it's just awesome. So, as a creator, I could never. I don't understand how someone could ignore somebody. We're at 210 people and only 110 likes. Come on, guys, hit me with some likes. No T Wave. No, nothing from Victor. I'm going to actually text him tomorrow. I've been so busy. I've been meaning to text him and I can't. If the girls don't find you handsome, Jeff, do you think sometime in the near future you consider hosting a conference? That's a power conference. Too much need info. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, I've never either. Like, I was shocked when I saw that sign. I was like, holy crap, that's amazing. Absolutely right, name redacted. Vic Cundiff said that Victor is clickbait. I don't know Vic Cundiff, and I've had one thing with him, and I know the guy has never had a Dogman encounter. And yet he asks everybody what his channel does for them when it's the people sharing. So I don't know. I think anything that Vic Cundiff does is a joke, if you ask me, but that's my own opinion. Here we go. Here's this. This is a strange experience. Any EVEs with blurred face? RH. I honestly, you ask some great questions about things that I have not researched. I really need to though. I really, really do. So anyway, I found this pretty interesting, and I think that you guys will like it because of the live stream, because of how we are here. You know, we really talk about a lot of good stuff. Just started watching Amityville Origin Story. I'll have to check that out. So, hey Don, how are you? So this is pretty good, and I'm gonna share it with you. Let me know what you guys think of this. Okay, I thought you guys would like it. It's about it's about an animal-headed cryptid, animal-headed alien. So here we go. I live in Anadarko, Oklahoma, but I'm originally from San Diego. My first UFO encounter was in 1976. We, my dad, mom, and myself, moved from San Diego to Spring Valley. My mom worked nights as a nurse for Mercy Hospital downtown from 10 p.m. until 8 a.m. One night, after we dropped my mom off at work, we did our usual nighttime routine and stopped at Taco Bell. On the way home going east, I spotted an object outside of my window facing south. It appeared to be a white orb-like object just above the hills following us on a horizontal course. I pointed it out to my dad, who at first thought I was joking or making it up. When he saw it, he became afraid. Know a little bit about my dad. He's about 6'8" and the toughest man alive. I've never seen him afraid of anything. We continued home, both of us looking at the object while it climbed out of view into the sky. We quickly went home and rushed into the house, my father leading the way by unlocking the door. We set our food on the railing and closed the door when the doorbell rang. I thought it was one of my dad's friends who occasionally stopped by after we took my mom to work. I quickly opened the door over the protest of my dad and saw a being standing in front of the door and a white glowing disc craft over our street. The being had a head of a male lion and a black robe with stars, galaxies, and comets. The strange thing was that the objects on the robe were moving, the spiral galaxies swirling, comets shooting, stars twinkling. Then the lion head being roared, and my dad and I fell backwards to the floor, and everything went black. My mom found us the next day in the hallway with the front door wide open, my dad and I asleep on the floor. She woke us up yelling, "What are you doing?" and why I wasn't at school. I tried to explain what had happened the night before, but my dad told me to be quiet. Not being a child of the 70s, I knew not to disobey my dad and attempted to tell my mom later after school while my dad was at work. I will give my mom credit. She listened, but I don't think she believed me. Then in 1985, I was 15, living in El Reno, Oklahoma. A bunch of my friends and I were leaving our friend's house, and by a bunch, I mean 15 to 18 guys. It was around 8 p.m. at night. We were going over to Booker T. Washington Gym to play basketball when an object had fallen out of the sky from the south heading to the north. The object was making a buzzing noise, almost like a helicopter, but louder. We all looked up and saw a large ball of light, about 20 feet in diameter, falling out of the sky. It smelled like sulfur, and it was changing color from white, yellow, green, blue, red, and back to white. It looked like it was landing or crashing at the neighborhood park about 10 blocks away. One of the guys looked at me and suggested we all go and see what it was. The reason why he looked at me was that I was into science, and jokingly they called me the professor. I got a sudden feeling of dread thinking about investigating an object and said no. Everyone shrugged and we went on to play basketball. My biggest encounter was in 91. I was in Oklahoma National Guard, a new dad, and a first Iraq war was on, and I was waiting to get deployed. I had brought the new year in with my child and my girlfriend, and since they stayed at her mother's house, I had to leave. It was between 1 and 1:30 in the morning. I was walking across the bandfield towards home when I saw the object in the northwest. It looked like a star with a trail streaming from it, white objects falling toward the ground. At first, I thought it was the second coming of our Lord Jesus, but then I remembered he comes from the east. So my next thought was that it was the Russians. They had launched a missile. Tinker Air Force Base is 25 miles from El Reno. Stuck with indecision about whether I should warn my mother and little brother or my girlfriend and child, I stood there watching. The object was coming closer, still with its tail, and with objects still falling to the ground. Then beams of light shot out of the front, so I thought it was a plane. I felt sorry for the plane's people and thought it was a 747. I had never seen a plane crash, and I continued to watch. Then the strangest thing happened. These headlight things started sweeping the ground. I thought, well, they were looking for a place to ditch. Then it occurred to me, when did 747s have searchlights? One beam of light went to the north, the other to the south, and then they both came together on me standing in the middle of the field, and then went out. It was right in front of me when the sight came back. A UFO, disc-shaped, with the back end blown off. Debris was falling off the back end towards the ground, but when it reached the ground, it was evaporated. The UFO was trailing smoke, and it had a row of windows on its side. The lights inside the UFO were emergency red. I saw silhouettes of beings running back and forth. Then one stopped and looked at me. I thought to myself, here's my chance to make contact with something from another planet. I had a mini flashlight on my keychain and flashed it a couple times to no response. So I waved my right arm and it copied me. Then with both arms, it copied me. I heard a vehicle stop on the street behind me, and a man and I were deeply concerned about its well-being. We stood there looking at each other for what felt like hours, when another figure who was running past stopped and looked at me, grabbed my friend, and went to the undamaged part of the craft. 6 balls of light, then a seventh shot towards the southwest, all changing colors from white, yellow, green, blue, red, and back to white. I ran home and woke my mom up, frantically yelling and telling her what I had seen. Then to the party where I knew my friend was. I told him, and he thought I was full of it, but I convinced him to go out of his house and watch the news. We were watching Channel 4 News when the anchor woman, Ooze Brown Washington, came on and said, if you saw an object in the sky, it was, and then she was cut off. All my friend and I could do was look at each other with our mouths wide open. We stayed up until 5 that morning, waiting for her to come back on with the news of what I had seen. She never did. I'm 52, and I've only shared this a handful of times with people that I can trust. I thank you for your time. So, what did you guys think of that experience? Good stuff. I thought it was pretty cool. I thought, I thought it was cool because, and I didn't want to put it on the channel with other people get butthurt if I don't always put Dogman on, which I changed the name specifically so I could, because I love everything that is just strange and unknown. But when he opened the door and saw the creature, I like the description that he gave about the creature's like robe, that the solar system was moving on it, almost like a microcosm or whatever. It was really friggin' cool. Rock and Study. No, I haven't. I'll have to look into it though. Libra, I like that too. Thanks, Erev. I appreciate that. No cap, I had seen exactly about the mind control. Wondering if you happen to receive my emails. Red River Gorge. Philo Van Doe. No, I have not. I have not. And here, I'll tell you, guys, if I don't, here's the thing, and Monty can attest to this because I've had I've had his email in my starred box for about 3 weeks to a month. When I get an email and I put it in my star box, I will respond to you, hey, I received your email, or I will make it known that I did get it. And that I will be with you as soon as I get a couple of free minutes to set something up. Or if someone wants me to just narrate their experience, I'll print it out and narrate it. But Philo, I did not get your experience. If you don't mind, try to send it to me again. And I'll put my email in just so you can have it really quick. All right. All right. Ever thought about getting some guys together and setting up traffic cameras and videos? I've heard of the frying bacon thing too. Where did I hear that from? Actually, I had a guy actually on the channel talking about it. I forget who it was. Thanks, Lydia. I like gargoyle stories too. I love gargoyle stories. Thanks, Philo. I appreciate that. Liz has sent me about my bookshelf above the computer right now. It has the majority of the books are from Liz, and they are all from Steve Quayle and stuff like that. And they have some amazing experiences in them. What state are you in? Sun for you. I am in upstate New York in the Adirondacks. Burning large amounts of sage can call to Dogman. Burning large amounts of sage can give you a headache as well. I remember my aunt she used to sage the house. Oh God. And it would just definitely, my head would just burn. I'd be like, oh no. But she burned cedar too. And I love the smell of cedar. AJ Lipkin, I said quail. I did say quail, right, Liz? Dogman Conference, Labor Day at Fort Worth, Texas. I won't be going. Monty, you going to bed? Have a good night, my friend. Get some sleep. She probably did. Actually, I used to here's a funny story. Here's a funny story about my aunt. So, um my aunt had inherited our family house, and the house was built in the early 1800s. It was a 4-story old farmhouse, Victorian old farmhouse. The 4th story was the attic, and it was freaking spooky as hell. There was a 5-story barn and another 3-story barn off of that. It was just a huge, huge house. And so I didn't get along with my dad for the longest time. And my cousin Diana and I were super close. She was like my older sister, and we used to torture my aunt. Um, so like one Easter, we did Easter eggs, and we gave her an Easter egg to color that we hadn't boiled, so it was just an egg with the yolk. So when she cracked it open, it splattered all over her. One night, we convinced my aunt to smoke weed with us, and we we got her so high that she ended up falling asleep with a bowl of ice cream on her chest like this, and it literally, like, she's passed out, and like the bowl just of melted ice cream was all over her, and it was just the funniest thing ever. Oh wow, Suji. That's Josh Turner's having a conference. Wow, I definitely won't be going there. See, I don't like conferences. I think conferences like that is, it's like, why have a conference with, to me, it's more of like, look at me, look who I am, look what I don't know, look what I think I know. I'm an expert. I'm this, I'm that. When I think that they're really, conferences to me are just a show, you know? They're just a show of crap. Um, I mean, I agree with people wanting to meet people and stuff, but when you're having a conference and you are, I don't know, you're a narcissist or whatever, that's just, I guess it's just for, I don't even know. It's just terrible. I mean, if there was somebody to have a conference or a convention, I think it would be like, Tim Baker, Kuhnbo, and then to have, like, a Dogman, a person who's really qualified to speak about Dogman, a person who's qualified to speak about Bigfoot, a person to speak about, like, Stan Gordon, yes, um, a person that's qualified to speak, just about the Jersey Devil and stuff like that, have a whole circumference of people. Libra. I know what you meant with that, though. Good night, Asha. Have a good night. Thank you for coming. Yeah, like, um, I don't know, I just think it's crazy. Thanks, No Cap. Paul hit it on the head. It's all about money, and it's all about, a boost of an ego. It's just like, um they need something in their lives they're lacking in. This is our conference right here. I just wish, you know, first, if I was to ever do a conference, I would never charge anybody. And I think it would just be, you know, us chilling out, just, hanging out and talking. So I just, I don't know. I'd be like, let's just chill here, hang out, bullshit, watch some movies, talk about Dogman. I don't know. That's my thing, I guess. Mickey, you got to get those to me. I want to have a conference about having a potluck with Dogman. Exactly, Miguel. Exactly. Like, multiple people. Tim Baker. Potluck in my house. That's my conference. Everybody's got to bring, like, I don't know, a whole shitload of green bean casserole, and other things. Jim's going to good night. Good night, Jim. Have a lovely evening. Thank you for coming and spending the night with us. I appreciate it. I don't smoke weed, but vapes would be cool. My oldest daughter will probably join you on the first, though. Because that when my oldest daughter had her Dogman encounter, um, she now that she's 18, I can tell the story that that it, without kind of, do you go to Whitehall Bigfoot Fest? I've been there, Mothman. It's only 15 minutes north of me right now where I live. Yes, I've been there. So anyway, my daughter's 18 now, so I can share the experience. So those of you who have been with the channel, I've been there with the camera. I showed you how large the cemetery is. It's acreage of, there's ponds there, there's streams there, there's acres of woods. It's just an enormous cemetery. We have myth of a witch called Abigail West, and if you Google Abigail West, Glens Falls, New York, the story is actually in there. There's just a lot of weird shit that has happened there. So my daughter is 16, hanging with her friends, and they're just doing what kids do at that age. All of a sudden, they are by two catacombs. Yes, Abby. And they are sitting by two catacombs, and they are, doing what kids do. And they see a silhouette of a dog. And it was her boyfriend, and two other people. And they watch it stand up and start walking towards the woods. They can see um, they can see it going beyond these gravestones, and it goes into the woods. Probably 2 minutes later, did they see green laser lights, and they all took off running as fast as they could towards her boyfriend's house. Now she believes that she is haunted by this thing, that he's actually seen it and taken a picture of it, which I shared on the channel. You can see it's a dog's fucking face looking right at you. But yeah, that was her encounter, and it was pretty crazy. Steph, good night. I didn't see that you were going to bed, but good night. Have a wonderful evening, and thank you for joining us. Or hello, Steph. Nino, that's awesome. This is crazy. Craig, you've seen the picture, so yeah, it is a decent picture. It's not a bad picture as pictures go. This is really crazy. Why does she think she's haunted by it? Because her boyfriend has taken a picture of it behind his house, which is a block, like a walk from the cemetery to his house. It's not very far, and they've heard it making noises outside of their house. Yeah, that's true, Paul. So anyway, crazy story. I was at McDonald's getting my other daughter McDonald's, right? And do you think there might be a connection? No, I don't. I don't think there is a connection. Well, maybe, but I doubt it was the same kind of, because we're talking miles away. Where I had my encounter was probably 10 miles from where she had hers. But they are in the Adirondacks. Most definitely, they are in the Adirondacks. Mickey, I know we had one in Mammoth. I can tell you that. When you had your encounter, did you have a feeling you were being hunted? No, I didn't. I didn't have a feeling of dread either. I had an overwhelming feeling of confusion. I wasn't scared, and it wasn't because I was brave, because I'm not. I'm not a brave person. Um, I was wondering what the hell I was looking at, and what this was. I never saw a shape. Actually, you know what? I saw something weird too. Jeff, I have a question. What's up, Jessa? I didn't know you were here. How are you? Little people, they're awesome. I love little people. Um, there's that comic that does jokes about he's a little person. No, like fairies and things. Yeah, I definitely believe in fairies. And what is the other name for them? Gnomes, I guess you'd call them. We're not talking about midgets, right? We're talking about like fairies, and because I like midgets too. Midgets are cool. Wait, is midgets? That's not a politically correct statement, right? There's like little people. You can hug them, right? Miguel, that's crazy. I walked over. You see, yes, I agree. Miguel, that is the perfect. What Miguel Benitez just said was the perfect example of a skinwalker. And thank you. You just classified the absolute. It is what it is. Crap, I'm late again. You're not that late. You're only 2 hours late, my friend. It's all right. I think they like to be called little people. Hey, buddy, how are you? So anyway, I'm at McDonald's and I'm getting Isabel her McDonald's. And there's a Jeep in front of me. And it has Florida license plate. But it's got a sticker on the back window and it says New York Bigfoot. And I'm like, oh shit. And I yelled out, hey, I like your sticker. And he says, thanks, man. And I was just like, I expected I didn't expect it to say New York Bigfoot. I expected like Florida skunk ape because Florida license plate. And we ended up getting in the McDonald's line. I'm in my car. He's in his car. We're talking about my YouTube channel. And he's like, I'll check it out. It was just cool. Interesting little story. Stupid, I know. Joe, have you sent me your encounter? I don't know. I don't think you have. And if you are you going to? Larry, you missed 2 hours of I shared two experiences and just a lot of really good talk. But it'll be up on the channel so you can re-listen to it. Larry must be at work right now. Hang on a second. I got a text. Isabel. I love you too. I'm texting you right now, bud. Hang on. Am I into horror movies? Absolutely. Okay, what? Don't talk about blood magic, please. Thank you. I didn't talk about blood magic. Jeff, you need bumper stickers. I do need bumper stickers. Favorite Dodgers player? Probably Mookie and fuck. Muncy. Mookie Muncy. And Bickford. My three favorite. No, I think Muncy is probably my favorite player. you happen to have a second backup email? No, I don't. I don't have a second backup email. I should start one. Do you watch boxing? No, I like UFC. I love UFC. Oh, hey, Cryptid 559. How are you? Steuben County. Where is Steuben? Is Steuben County out west? Do I like MMA? Yeah, UFC. I love UFC. Go back. I asked my question. You're gonna have to ask it again, Jessa. I apologize. I'm sorry. I can't go back because then I'll lose everything that I'll pay attention, I promise. Love UFC and WWE. Israel Adesanya is my favorite fighter. I love Izzy. I didn't mean to, Jessa. I apologize. The Evil Dead, the new Evil Dead looks great. I don't know. Were you guys here 2 weeks ago when Izzy was fighting and I lost my marbles? I thought he had lost. Someone said he lost, and I was like, I literally almost threw my computer because, like, I don't know. He's just awesome. I think he was smart for not fighting. What's his name? The guy with the funny lip. I forget his name offhand, but I think he might be a fight for Izzy. The Pope's Exorcist looks really good. Izzy and John Jones. Yes. Yes, Larry, you're absolutely right on that. I think John Jones could take Izzy. That's just John Jones is too big and he's a badass. Okay, I'll have to look at Steuben County. Yeah, AJ, I just said that. You're right on point. You're right on point. Jessa, did you ask your question yet? Again? Does anyone know what Dogman scat would look like? Probably like human poop, I would say. Like a cross between human poop, probably like monkey shit. I'm just guessing. I mean, it's bipedal, so it's probably going to crap like a monkey, not like a dog. It probably just like walks and drops ass. That's my guess. I'm glad they don't throw it like a monkey. Any omnivore scat is not very glorious. Absolutely. Oh yeah, Luke. Oh, so Perry was that tonight? Erev was. I can't believe Rockhold is fighting bare knuckle. Like he's a fucking model. Like, dude, you're that good looking and you're gonna fight bare knuckle? That's silly. So that fight was tonight? Do you think Dogman were put here specifically to contain and kill crawlers and red-eyed Dogman nefarious and amber Dogman more? We'll let you go kind of thing, unless you hurt them first. No. I don't think they were here to kill crawlers. I think they were here. My opinion, they were here before crawlers. I think crawlers are genetic creations that the alien life forms created. And I think that I often thought about that red eye and amber colored eye. And I think we automatically think red with nefarious. But I think it's just the color of their eye. I've heard of amber colored dogmen, being dangerous and attack humans as well. But I think dogmen were here well before crawlers. In my opinion, I'm not an expert and I wasn't here at the beginning of time, but that's my opinion. Nino, you're going to bed. Have a good night, my friend. Andre the Giant must have had poops that were huge. I heard he used to fart in wrestlers' faces. Do you think government dropped them around the world? Dogmen or crawlers? That would be crazy to see. No, I've only gotten like 4 or 5 encounters of dogmen fighting Bigfoot. E-Rev, so you watched the fight? Perry's a badass anyway. Rockhold's a good fighter, but he's just, I mean, that's with gloves, he's too pretty. He's, and that's, I'm not no homo, but he's too pretty, like you just, I can't see him bare knuckle. I can see the Diaz brothers bare knuckle boxing, but I can't see Luke Rockhold. I saw Andre the Giant wrestle live. I saw George the Animal Steel. I met George the Animal Steel. He is such a smart guy. Well, he's dead now, but George the Animal Steel. We have a civic center that's in our town, in our city, and I used to watch all the wrestlers. My mom and dad used to take me there. My dad used to get tickets for free because he worked at the paper mill that was across the street from our civic center, and they worked side by side or whatever. I remember Jake the Snake Roberts wrestling Kamala, and he DDT'd him, and I was like, yeah. Sorry, that was stupid sounding. The Last Voyage of Demeter. What's that? Is that a new movie? T-Wave 50. I have an encounter of a dogman fighting a grizzly bear. Perry is a great fighter, and he does have heart. He really does. And he's got the face that can get punched, too. Jessa, I think so, but I think that they are different. There's the cloaking ones. I don't think are the crawlers. I think it's something very different. There's a Native American story out of New Mexico, and it's chilling. To It's really weird sounding. Luke was just awkward, but mad respect. Yeah, Rockhold is, but yeah, you're right. Ric Flair was just interviewed by Joe Rogan. That was actually one of the best. I lost all respect for Rogan just recently, but I had to watch that because I love Ric Flair. And yeah, it was awesome. It was such a good interview. Good night, Liz. Have a good night. Be safe. Liz is awesome. I love Liz. Woo! Rampage Jackson versus Dogman. Dogman would eat Rampage Jackson. No human being could stand against like a straight up fight. Am I out of drinks? All right, I got some of this left. Joe, did you see the Joe Michaela? They did a wonderful. Actually, it wasn't wonderful. It was kind of shitty. Uh, Biography of China. I forgot what it was, but it really emphasized on what they did to her and how they took advantage of her. Really just a shame. And she was just like she was so lost from childhood, it seemed like. Why did I lose respect for Rogan? Well, because I lost respect for Rogan. Did you? I lost respect for Rogan because he he's too full of himself. Um, and if he doesn't know something, he guesses, and it just I don't know. He drives me nuts. There's some good videos that he does, or some good interviews that he does that I will watch, and I will push through it, but um, he's just whatever. I agree. I agree. He is arrogant. But when you're that rich, I mean, I always said to anybody that knows me, if I ever became rich, I would be mean to the rich people, just to be mean to rich people. I don't know. I agree. Definitely full. He's confident, not arrogant. No. I disagree wholeheartedly on that. He is an arrogant fuck. Truly, truly is. He is not confident. He's confident, but he's arrogant as hell. Exactly. Erev. Because if he was confident, he wouldn't like there's times that he doesn't know something, but he will just randomly throw something out that isn't true and stand by it and fight, you know. Dean, no, no, and that's Michigan. Nothing coming out yet. We're talking about UFC. So, ladies, any guys in the live you feel? Ignorant and arrogant. Yeah. Yeah. Ignorance is terrible. We live in 2023 and there shouldn't be any ignorance. I just, it's disgusting that there is arrogance or ignorance in this day and age. Exactly, Erav. I agree, Erav. Miguel, yeah. Like, I don't know. Where I live, um where I live is like a touristy part of New York, upstate, and it's really touristy. And people are just there's a lot of like money here. And you see people look down on people all the time. And it's disgusting. It's just, you know, everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face. I don't think you can constitute a whole generation. That's kind of I don't know. Exactly, rock and steady. Okay, like, what's that idiot that the guy who owns Facebook or whatever? The fucking rich guy that has that yacht that costs more than a city. Like, if these people, like, there's ways of Zuckerberg, like, they could easily stop homelessness. Bezos, Zuckerberg, Musk, these guys could easily help. Like, does anybody really need that much money? Yeah, I know they worked for it and they, busted their ass and everything, but like, what the fuck do you need that much money for? For real? Like, help somebody else. I was watching this or TV show earlier this morning, and it was about like the crack epidemic, and and these guys are counting their money, right? And this is in the 80s, and they had $150,000 in $1 bills, right? And the rest was like hundreds and fifties and twenties. And they're like, what are we going to do with this $150,000 in ones? And they said, let's give it to the poor. And I was like, holy shit, these crack dealers are going to give money to the poor. And Bezos and Elon and all these guys could never be ever bothered to. Or Elon could actually invest in. Now, Elon's pretty good because I like his statement about the AI. But I think Elon could like it'd be pretty sick if Elon sat down and oh, look at this, guys. We got a troll. Alex Bleed. You are just crazy. There is no Dogman. Guys, do you guys read this? Alex Bleed just said we are all crazy because there is no Dogman. Thank you, Alex. Thank you for coming and sharing with us. We appreciate it. What a toolbox. Alex Bleed probably has never been out of his mom's basement. Send him to Red River. Go can someone fill me in about the new Dracula movie? I saw that. Thanks, Meph. Holy shit. Yes, I actually would. I actually would love to have him on. He did one interview I saw. And yeah, I'd definitely like to have him on about that. Miguel, there is no doubt about Michigan not being real. Michigan is definitely real. Dracula on a ship. Okay. Alex Bleed could come to the Adirondacks and he could, either see a Dogman, a Bigfoot, or just get lost in the huge wilderness and never come out. Yeah, AJ, I have with Dark Waters, the Neuralink. Well, he's talked about the Neuralink for a while. No, what I was talking about was how he had warned the public. Fucking hat is killing me. He had warned the public about AI, and he said, when we learn from mistakes, it's always too late. So, like, we do something wrong, we learn from that mistake. Well, with AI, it's already a mistake. And that by the time it's too late, it's going to be way too late to even fix the problem. Your mom goes to college. What's up, my friend? Thank you for coming. I appreciate it. It's itchy, rocking steady. Yeah, merging with the machine is creepy. I don't think there'll be emergence though of what he was saying. He was saying like that by the time we realize that AI has really taken over the system, that it'll be too late to put it back in check, that it'll just be too much. Exactly. Skynet. Tyler, just email me if you, I'd love to hear about it. So the Dracula movie is a comedy. Okay. Tammy, enjoy your lunch break. I'm glad you're here with us. AI is something we definitely don't need. No, I think there's two movies that have like there's Renfield with Nicolas Cage, and then there's what the movie about Dracula on a boat. Is that there's two movies? What is the difference between eugenics and making people cyborg? Never really thought about it like that. We are all corruptible, yeah. Jeff, what's the most violent Bigfoot attack you've ever heard? The most violent Bigfoot attack I've ever heard. Okay. Well, we've all Jessa, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you. Okay, so the most violent Bigfoot attack I've ever heard is the attack that is misconstrued, I guess. There's one version that is true and one version that's not. And it's the Lover's Lane Bigfoot attack, where the guy and the girl are in Lover's Lane. They're outside of the car. They're doing the dirty, and the Bigfoots come and they kill the guy and have their way with the girl. But per Tim Kunbo Baker, the way the story really happened is that when the guy and the girl were doing the dirty, they knocked the girl out and they did the dirty with the dude and killed him that way. And I guess she moved out of country. And Rockin' Steady, thank you so much. And will not talk about the case. That'd probably be the most violent Bigfoot attack I've ever heard of. Just because of the terrifying part of it. That's pretty crazy, no cap. I'll have to look into that. Yeah, it was. I mean, when Baker told me that, we were talking about, I had asked him about that, and he goes, Jeff, that's not the way. He goes, that's not the way it happened. He said they were at Lover's Lane. The couple were outside. They were, doing what they needed to do. Apparently, they knocked her out somehow, and they ravaged this poor guy's booty hole and killed him that way. So yeah, Lydia, have a good night. Thank you for coming. RH. Yeah, definitely. No, Libra, it was a real experience. The boogeyman is real. Most definitely. That is like that boogeyman is real is like that statement right there. The boogeyman is real is going back to what I said about an hour ago. Little kids have it ingrained in their head that monsters are real. I wonder if he gave him the old dirty Sanchez. I had to do it. Sorry. That would not be pleasant. A dirty Sanchez from a Bigfoot. Fuck that. Woo! Just hope he spit on his thumb first. Oh God. This is why I said, like, I love live streams. Like, we have the greatest time here. Like, I swear to God, like, the weekdays are all about encounters and research, and then we have Saturday Night Live with us, and it gets so much better. It's so good. Oh man. Not the dirty Sanchez. The old goat punch. You guys ever seen that TV show Oz? In Oz, remember when that Nazi guy, Schillinger's buddy, right? And he gets put he, he gets put in the jail cell with the dude, with the freaking guy that ends up being the bitch for that dude, and he's fucking he's banging him in the butt, and he goat punches him right in the ribs. It was so awesome. Oh my God. No, Oz is a TV show, Dean. The TV show on HBO is probably the greatest show ever. Oz is OG. Out of BC. Rob Salazar, you know which one I'm talking about. I laughed my nuts off when I saw that one. Holy shit. Yeah, it was on HBO. Sons of Anarchy was a good show, but Oz was so much better. Oz was like Oz literally had, if you guys think about it, Oz had everybody that is on Law and Order was on Oz. Yeah, fucking Stabler, the Chinese priest was a guy, like, it was such an amazing show. It was way before its time. It would never in this PC world, it would never air. Like, no, people would just be like going nuts if Oz came out today. They'd be like, "Oh my God." Sister, what was it, Sister Elizabeth or Sister Liz or whatever? Tobias Beecher. Schillinger branded Tobias the Nazi sign on his ass. Yeah, she was. I forgot all about that. Yes. Ryan O'Reilly, yeah. And Cyril. That's such a good show. Such a good show. Oh, okay. Yeah, she was awesome. Remember when sister was like, they were looking out at the anti-death people, and I forget what, I think it was the priest, and what's his name was like, how's everything going out there? And he goes, yeah, sister just kicked that guy in the nuts. Soprano. Oh yeah, she was. That's right. Carmilla, she was the Carmilla Soprano was the lady cop that was selling the cigarettes. The snowflake generation, definitely. Like, okay, Oz would never air. The Dice Man would never be the Dice Man. Dr. Demento, like, remember Dr. Demento in like the Christmas songs? With like, I'm dreaming of a just like the ones I used to love. Eastbound and Down would never air. Nope. Dr. Demento was great. Kenny Powers. No, I can't sing the words. Opie and Anthony, yes, I do. Hill Street Blues would be awesome if they ever did a remake of it. Did you know Hill Street Blues was in a fictitious world, but it actually was supposed to be based off of Buffalo, New York? Disney does suck. Sam Kinison would never. I had his cassette tape. I used to listen to it when I was a kid. Is that the new Disney film, Paul, that's coming out? Dude, I was just watching the Conservative Twins there. You know who the Conservative Twins are. I'm sure you guys do. And there was a TV show, or not TV show, but one of those, what are they called, where they have those women that know everything that sit around like the View TV show. What the fuck are they called? Daytime TV. And these daytime TV, there was a it was a daytime like the View, but with a bunch of uh trannies, and they're all hanging out, right? And this huge black tranny looked at the audience and said that all white people are racist. And that was like that the most racist term I had ever heard, like the most racist thing ever. You are being racist by making that comment. And I'm like, how the hell? Like, my best friend in the world, but beside my daughters, is Dark Waters, James. Like, I've talked to him and share everything with that guy. Like, all white people are not racist. That is like the stupidest thing. That was the most racist comment I've ever heard. Vampire porn. You probably were, Jamie. You probably were a New Yorker in past life. I never saw True Blood. Night Stalker. That was like the 70s, I believe, right? The Wire, no cap bussin'. The Wire is awesome. Wire is great. There's another show that The Wire was created. The Wire came out, and then there was a show called The Corner that was based on The Wire as well. Oz was great, I don't remember the show Forever Night. Yeah, it's no cap busting. If you ever want to watch it on it was pre-wire. You can find there's 6 segments. They're a half an hour to 45 minutes each. Just type in Corner episode 1 on YouTube, episode 2, episode 3, 4, and so on, and you'll get it. It's truly a freaking great show. Dark Shadows is good. I like cop shows. I'm not a big fan of, like, if I'm gonna watch TV, it's like I like cop shows for some reason. I'm not a fan of all police. I think we need police, but I like cop shows for some reason. Generation Kill was great. Did I miss Native saying goodnight? Where's T. Neal? Miami Vice is a definite yes. Miami Vice, definite yes. What show, DH? The Corner or The Wire? Which one? Fruity Rudy, I forgot about it. He was one of my favorite characters in Generation Kill. Man, he was freaking awesome. T. Neal, how are you? I didn't see you here tonight. I'm sorry. I should have said hi. I was in county and they'd want. Libra, the Teen Wolf with Michael J. Fox was great. I remember watching all those 80s movies. It would be me and my cousins. There was like 6 of us, and we'd all just watch those 80s shows. Michael Landon, teenage werewolf. Highway to Heaven was a teenage werewolf, or Michael J. Fox, Jamie, because Michael Landon was the dude from Highway to Heaven, and Bonanza, whatever. Breakfast Club is one of the greatest 80s movies ever. Breakfast Club was fucking great. Gotta love that movie. 1,000 Ways to Die. Choose one. Yeah, the Roadhouse. I'm a little upset that they're making a remake of Roadhouse. How the hell do you make a remake of Roadhouse? You can't. Sam Elliott, Patrick Swayze, you just can't do it. I don't care if it's got Conor McGregor in it or not. You just can't do it. 16 Candles. Awesome. Pretty in Pink and 16 Candles were 2 great movies. Fast Time at Ridgemont High. St. Elmo's Fire, great movie. RH throws in Texas Massacre when we're all talking Dirty Dancing Breakfast Club. No Cap's going to bed. Good night, No Cap. Little House on the Prairie. Laura Ingalls. Michael Landon did a cameo of his old werewolf. What? I gotta check that out. E-Rev, don't forget about me, he says. Absolutely. You know, actually, what kind of would be cool if they ever found good enough actors for they can't ever do it. They could never remake Breakfast Club or St. Elmo's Fire because all the actors that are that age right now are all like little biatches. Don't you? That song's great. Michael Landon did a werewolf movie in the 50s. Is that what you're saying, Jamie? Or am I misreading? Ghost was good with Demi Moore. Okay, I'll have to find that. I know Opa. She's like, "Oh, Pa, come on and tuck me in. Take off my little bonnet." Scanners was good. I forgot about Scanners. Deliverance was awesome. What's that other one? Deliverance and Southern Comfort. Southern Comfort was a great movie. I heard they're going to make a remake of Clockwork Orange. I'm not a big fan of that either. Squeal like a pig. I don't know. You guys like the Deftones? There's a song that Chino does where he's like, "Squeal like a pig when you back fuck it, fuck it." Deftones are awesome. I love Deftones. Actually, Chino has a second band that's been around for a while with Sean Lopez called Crosses, and they just came out with a new album. Southern Comfort was awesome. That movie was great. You cannot do a second Clockwork Orange. There's just no way of doing a second. There's movies that you just cannot, as much as these people would love to make a remake of, you can't do it, you know? They Live, yeah, They Live was awesome. Yeah, Crosses is a great band. It's I've got their CD and I ordered their vinyl. They came in different colors for some reason, and I grabbed it. E-Rev, this place is awesome. I'm glad you like it, my friend. I'm glad you like it. I'm Powers Booth was awesome in Southern Comfort, dude. That movie was sick. Tom McDonald has been off the hook lately. Yeah, when he's by himself. But when he has other people with him, he's corny. Weird Science is great. With Chet. Chet was the best part about Weird Science. The Reanimator. Oh, shit. Yeah. Wow. Good night, Paul. Have a great night. Thank you for coming. Thank you for spending some time with us. Hostel was pretty awesome. Hank the Third is good. Didn't he do an album with Phil from Pantera? Yeah, Phil. It was Super Joint. That's what it was called. Yeah, Super Joint Ritual. Fuck yeah. But that new the Crosses, they did a cover. So it's Chino and Sean Lopez, which was from what band did he play in? They grew up together actually. Oh, okay. Hang on. They did the remake to the song from Silence of the Lambs. You guys got to check that movie or that album out, Crosses. You guys would like it. Season the Abyss by Slayer is one of the greatest Slayer albums. I can't listen to the new Metallica album. My daughter Abby got it. I bought it for her. But I just my fave Deftones song, White Pony. White Pony is probably their second best album Deftones ever did was White Pony, I think. All right, guys. I gotta go and take care of my daughter. We've been here for almost 3 hours. 2 hours and 50 minutes. So thank you guys for hanging out with me this evening. I really appreciate it. You guys made my night. So thank you. I hope you guys had as much fun as I had. And I will see you guys next Saturday for the live stream. But we'll always have a video out every day for you guys because you guys are awesome. So have a good night. Stay fresh. Don't let your meat loaf. Love you.